Guy, just stand
This is
right
Bob
there.
with from the Police 911, and I'm at the ODOT protest.
Get my good side. The toughest question is going to be your first and last name.
Oh, okay. Hey, Chris Gazzetto.
Okay, you spell your last name for me?
Cozzetto.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris.
Just got to make sure we get it right.
Yeah, that's good.
So are you one of the homeless that were kicked out of these camps at all, or are you just...
No, actually, I'm not one of the homeless kicked out of the camps. I'm just a community advocate, community activist, and I'm looking out for the voices that are unheard.
So I've been out to a couple of these camps. I haven't seen them in the past. I've been to where they clean it all out. But what's your interest today? Now?
My interest today is to get ODOT to stop sweeping these camps, and I would really like to see ODOT join the moratorium, as Portland has, declared a moratorium to stop the sweep of the camps. ODOT's been relentless in sweeping the camps. There are quite a few camps, especially out in the southeast area, that are, at risk always. The homeless out there are terrorized, and a lot of them already suffer from PTSD, and that contributes to the problems that we have out on the streets. And one thing that we want to do is community, is we want to come together and find solutions to help, some of our homeless neighbors. And we have organizations like ODOT and ODOT bringing in, the Multnomah County sheriffs and the county inmates to clean up these camps. It's not giving us the room that we need to craft these solutions. And what I would like to see, honestly, because we have such a housing crisis, is I'd like to see a camp in every neighborhood. I encourage people to come down and meet their homeless neighbors, because that's exactly what they are. The main difference between the homeless and people like myself is that I have a house and I have a home. Other than that, there's very little difference. There's drugs and crime and mental issues and even the house community. So what we're seeing out here on the streets is a reflection of what's happening in our economy and what's happening in our society. So I personally want to make a difference. The people here with me, the people that aren't here with me, also want to make a difference. These are human lives at stake, and when ODOT's destroying these people's personal property and their IDs, their medications, it just destroys the chance that these people are ever going to be able to get back on their feet, and destroys the chance that we'll be able to give them the boost that they need. And that's exactly what our homeless neighbors do need, is a boost.
Now I know what ODOT's going to say, that they bag up everything and put it in a storage unit for them to come get. I know that's what they're going to say. Is that true, or is it not true? Can they still, when you say destroy their meds and stuff?
We're taking it from them is destroying their access to the things that they need anyway. So like them saying they're storing it, and people come back, for one, they're way out in Gresham or other regions. How are they gonna get here? Down here to their storage unit? They can't. They're making it a possible situation for people that are already in an impossible situation.
When we speak of truth's a very strong word. It depends on what angle you take. I would agree that yes, ODOT does generally bag up these personal belongings, medications, and identifications, and deposits them in a storage center. But as Terrence would say, it's very difficult for these homeless people to get down to this facility to pick up
their
their
ID
belongings.
and their money and all
If
that.
they don't have their
I
ID,
mean,
they're unable to claim the property from ODOT. Right now, ODOT's policy is a presentation of identification. If the identification's in with those belongings, they have no way of recouping the items that they've lost. And medications are, a vital resource that homeless people need. They can't afford to even one day have those locked up in storage. And then you have the issue of getting to the storage facility. ODOT doesn't have a centrally located storage facility. Doesn't matter where the property swept from here, it is pushed all the way out into Clackamas. And it's not very accessible, has very limited hours. And that's one of the things that we're really hoping to change. If the sweeps are going to continue,
to get there too.
yeah, and when we're talking about fees, there's storage, cleaning, and recovery fees. Well, we're talking about people that are packing around everything that they own in life, and we really honestly expect them to pay fees. So when we talk about truths, yes, it is true that some things are recovered, but what's not seen is a lot of things aren't recovered. It's a very subjective process. Who decides what's valuable property? Who decides what is necessary for these people to live? who decides what has value? Certainly the homeless, if they're carrying it around, that's something valuable to them. I don't know anybody that's going to pack a bunch of stuff around that they don't need. And so we're depriving these people. In most cases, it is going straight to the trash. What we see, and what we hear from ODOT, said no, we're very, very careful in what we do. We're very careful in the process. And people have a chance to recover this. And this is the business that we conduct. Is what we're tasked with. And we're following every letter of the law, but that's not good enough. What we're talking about is human lives, and we're putting them at risk. And not just lives, but some of these people are my friends, some of these people are my former neighbors. And one day, it might be you, it might be you, it might be one of these guys. A lot of people are one paycheck away from losing their home. And, when we're looking at stagnating wages, and when we're looking at the obscene amount of rents that are being charged, and we're looking at the housing market, that's going to force even more families on the street, more individuals on the street. We already can't cope now. What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do a week from now? I fully support the camps. I think everybody should support the camps. Is it an ideal solution? No, it's not an ideal solution. But it is an emergency solution to buy us some time. Isn't that what this is really all about?
Okay.
Just buy one more day.
You're seeing a lot of good stuff. I'm going to go with just poking the bear a little bit here. They'll say, because I know what they're going to say, that they're in dangerous spots, and that's why they need to move them out of those camp areas.
Where's more dangerous?
Provide a better spot. If they move them, provide a better spot. Don't move them until you have somewhere for them to go. Where are they going to go? It's ridiculous. I've seen it over and over and over again. People I know have been swept over and over again. They have nowhere else to go. They just end up back in the same spot because that's the only place they have. And so it just happens again in 6 months. It has no effect. Zero effect. Zero value. There's nowhere else to go.
Could I get your name?
I'm Franny Grover.
Advocate.
Definitely. Passionately.
Thank you. You feel like you said what you need to say?
No, actually, I'd like to answer that question as well.
You did very well, Chris.
No,
Really said it.
No, I think you did great. I'm glad you jumped in. I'm
Well,
not
I'm
really
so
ready to be
much-
on the spot. So the question was, ODOT's going to say that these people are in danger there. They need to be moved. They're at risk. And I say that's nothing but a cop out and a straw man argument. Realistically, these people are already in danger. What could be more dangerous than being out on the streets with no shelter, in all kinds of weather, with no resources, no support of any kind, fearing that they're going to be raided either by the people in the community, raided by agencies like ODOT, raided by the Portland police? No. What we're looking at here is a crisis. And so it is very much a cop-out. And I want ODOT to show us exactly where it is that these people are in danger. When is the last time that somebody strayed out into the street from one of these camps and got run over? ODOT says it's been at least 5 years since they recall some sort of incident, and they weren't even sure if it was locally. They talked about people falling off the overpass. Again, how often is this happening? But every day somebody is dying on the street, and these sweeps ultimately lead to more death. So it is a cop-out.
Yeah, they said that someone died about 8 to 10 years ago, that they were hit by a car under a freeway overpass. And so that's their justification for basically killing people on a weekly basis, And ODOT are basically committing torture too. If you look up sleep deprivation and then put torture after that, Google that, you can find that sleep deprivation is a torture technique, and it leads to all sorts of health problems, from psychosis to cardiovascular disease and all kinds of other stuff. So basically, when you're depriving people of sleep, you're killing them slowly. When you're doing that to people that are already mentally ill or have health conditions, you're basically putting mentally ill people at risk of going into total psychosis and total mental breakdown. I mean, people kill themselves during these sweeps. They get so anxiety ridden that they actually go and kill themselves, or they have heart attacks. There's all kinds of stuff. And you know, people with medical conditions, when they're forced to go march in the rain and move to a new location, you know, it's a lot of these people are sick. They might have the flu. They might have medical conditions. I mean, up at the Pardee camp, there was a 70-year-old lady, and she has like the flu, and she's too sick to even move. And ODOT and the police and all these various agencies are trying to move people.
Is that one still going? Because I shot that. I went out there a week ago, 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still there right now.
So they haven't been raided yet.
No.
There was enough community
Is it possible to add one more
uproar.
thing in there? Is that possible?
My arms getting
Yeah,
tired, but
no.
yeah.
I can take over, Sean.
I thought you didn't want to do this, man.
But I thought it sounded really good that I wanted to add. Yeah. We didn't make it in there.
You're good. I'm stepping in as the reliever. Yeah.
One thing that I like to, when I'm talking to community members, especially my friends, even my family, sometimes they're not as understanding. It takes them a little bit of time to adjust because there's this perception that the problem with the homelessness is that these people deserved it or they caused it. But unfortunately, that doesn't bear out. What we see is it's absolutely the exact opposite. That these people are suffering from misfortunes that they had no control over. And the difference between them and us here, aside from having a house, is that we have support networks. And that's one of the only reasons that we're not living on the street.
Right.
These people don't have support networks, and that is why they're in the street. If they had support networks, they wouldn't be there. So we are trying to build that support network for them and give them the voice that they need. They have a voice, but it's been unheard. So we're here to help boost that voice so they can be heard.
Thanks so much for all your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, theoretically, government's supposed to serve the function of the people,
Yeah.
not work against them.
Yeah.
So in reality, the government should be spending money to house people, not sweep homeless people away. So that just shows that there's a major crisis in government too.